Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to East Providence Lanes here in East Providence, Rhode Island for the inaugural Rhode Island Queens Women's Tournament. I am your broadcast partner, James Bassett. Again, welcome to East Providence Lanes. And on the left lane, we have Katie Scott Jones. She throws a strike in her first frame. So had to start the live stream a little late, so I'll give you a quick little explanation here. First, we have Mary Sylvia on lane 13. She, in her respective match, is going to be shooting at the 3-5 spare. She is bowling in the Division II Stepladder, facing against Susan Graham, and Mary chops out the 5, so she has a score of 9 through frame 1. And on lane 12 just now, Diane Venchek, she strikes in her respective first frame in her Division I match against Katie Scott Jones. And on lane 14, we have Susan Graham. She throws her first shot. It looks pretty good down lane and comes up a little light. Gets a friendly carry, slightly friendly carry. Gets an 8 count on that, leaving the 2-5. Here's Vinchek on lane 11. She throws it a little wide, leaves a washout, the 1-2-8-10. So again, ladies and gentlemen, today is a day that's been several months in the making, where 57 of the top women bowlers from around the New England area have traveled down to here in East Providence on Rhode Island's East Bay to compete for supremacy on the lanes. And Susan, unfortunately, chops out the 5, so she leaves an open frame on lane 14. And Vinchek takes out the 1 in the 2 on lane 11, so she has a score of 26 through 2. So this is the inaugural New England Queens Women's Scratch Tournament. The large field has been dwindled down to 10 bowlers across 2 different divisions. Both are bowling in the stepladder. And Susan Graham has left the 10-pin after going a bit Brooklyn. And here is Katie Scott Jones. She's from East Greenwich, a product of the Providence Senate Juniors program years ago. Throws the first shot in the second frame, leaves the weak 10 pin. And Susan Graham here on lane 13. She's going for her respective 10 pin. Try to get a little bit of ahead of Mary Sylvia, but unfortunately, Susan, her spare attempt went into the gutter. So Susan has a score of 18 through 2. And here's Mary on lane 14, hoping to even or maybe pull ahead slightly early here in her Division II match. It was a bit of a backup ball, goes heavy on the head pin, leaves the 7 pin. And Katie on lane 12, she takes out the 10 pin with ease. So she has a slight lead early on in her match. So to give a quick little breakdown here, we had 57 bowlers bowling across 2 different divisions. So the 2 divisions are Division I, which were averages 180 and above, and Division II is 180 and below. So we have 2 different step ladder matches, each one featuring 5 players. And here is Mary Sylvia going for the 7 pin. She gets it. And Katie throws a great shot on lane 11 for a strike. So she's got a 50 score through 3. Now Diane is on lane 12. She had a washout in frame 2, hoping to recover from that. Throws a shot that's a little in, going to be Brooklyn, but gets it to go. At this point in the tournament, it doesn't matter what side of the pocket you hit. As long as you get all 10 pins to go, it's all that matters on the scoreboard. So here's Mary. She just converted a 7-pin spare in her second frame, now going up in the third. 3, 6, 8. Here's Diane looking to capitalize on the double. That time she comes in light again. This time the pins are a bit closer. The 2, 4, 5, and 8. And here's Mary going for the spare, going heavy on the head pin. She gets it. Big spare there. So she has a pretty good lead up to this point in her Division II match against Susan Graham. And Diane, unfortunately, leaves another open frame. She takes out the 2 and a 5, the 5 and the 8, leaving the 2 and the 4. And Graham gets her first strike of the match. And Katie is going shot, pulls it in a bit, gets a bit of a break, having the 7 fall late, but leaving the 6 and 10. So again, bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're just updating a few of the graphics here on the broadcast. So we have a split camera showing you. On the left camera is the Division I match between, right now, Scott Jones and Diane Venchek. And on the right side, which is your Division II match, Mary Sylvia versus Susan Graham. And Susan's up on lane 13. Going for a shot. Hits it heavy on the 3-pin, leaves the 1, 2, and 4. Katie going for a spare on lane 12. Goes, a bit wide. Chops out the 10. So Katie right now has a score of 68 through 4 frames. Currently with a 16-pin lead. There's Susan looking to go take another spare in her favor and gets another mark, rather. Takes out the 1, 2, and 4 with ease to get herself back into the match. On lane 14, ready to go. But here's Katie on lane 11 on the left side of your screen, and she comes up a bit high, leaving the 3, 6, 9, 10. And Mary, her respective shot leaves the 6-pin. So the ladies today are going to be competing for tiaras. One for Division I, the other for Division II. The ladies today had bowled 5 qualifying games across 10 pairs across the house. The pattern that was used was a junior gold USBC oil pattern with a heck of a ratio. It was at 25 to 1. So it can play a little bit tricky given that it's a fairly low volume. And if you miss inside, the ball will skate pretty far, and if you get to the friction early, it will hook heavy. And Katie, unfortunately, missed the 3, 6, 9, 10. She took out everything but the 10-pin. Now Diane has a chance. The official oil pattern was actually my correction. This is a correction on my part. Thought it was the junior gold pattern. It's actually the 2022 USBC Women's Championships. So it's for the USBC Women's Nationals that was used in 2022. It's 42 feet. Oil ratio is 25.6 milliliters with a ratio of 5.79 to 1. And Mary gets a good strike there in her 5th frame. So after the first frame, Mary stayed clean. 9 spare, 6 spare, 9 spare, and a strike. And here's Diane going for the spare. She gets it. Gets her first spare of the match. And
traveling, just a reminder, once you are done with game 9,
a bit of a busy day here at East Providence Lanes. You got the women's tournament here. We were broadcasting live here on the Rhode Island Classic, or Rhode Island Ladies Classic YouTube page. This will actually be uploaded to the YouTube page and will be shared also on the Rhode Island Ladies Classic Facebook page. So Susan Lee has the 4 horsemen to the right plus the 8 pin. Here's Diane. She gets the mixer to go. So she has a score of about 82 through 6 frames, and Susan took out the 4 horsemen 1, 3, 6, 10, but unfortunately leaves the 8. So she has a score of 62 through 5. And here's Katie. She's got back-to-back opens, looking to try to get back into a good roll there. It skates through, leaves the 2, 4, 5. So the pattern kind of can play a little bit over-under if you don't get the roll correctly. Be able to get the ball inside and have relatively good hold. But if you got to get the ball to roll and start up relatively early to get the good reaction into the pocket. And Susan leaves the 1, 2, and 8. It's a fairly makeable spare. She's looking to recover from an open frame in the 5th. Katie, hoping to avoid 3 straight opens, throws a shot, doesn't like it, and for good reason, she takes out the 5, unfortunately. So after a relatively good start, Katie unfortunately has 3 straight opens. And Susan gets the spare. So Susan's still trying to battle through. But Mary is maintaining a good pace right now. 4 straight marks going into the 6th frame on lane 14. And both Katie and Mary strike. So Katie gets back off. Looking to recover from 3 straight open frames, gets a critical strike there. But now Diane Vinchek, whose qualifying score was plus 48 through 5 games, which is a score of 1,048. She's working on a strike here. A double here could really put things in her favor, but comes up light. Leaves the 2, 4, 5, 7. Now Mary Sylvia on lane 13. She's working on a double. Only player of the 4 on the lanes right now who has doubled so far. Throws a shot, looking for 3 in a row. Gets it to go. Her backup ball crossed over into the 1-3. And now she takes a commanding lead through 7 frames. And Diane gets the spare. She maintains her slight advantage over Katie Scott Jones. Now Susan Graham's on lane 14. Throws a shot, ball is crossing over, gets it to go. So she gets her 2nd strike of the match. And definitely is going to need all the big hits she can get at this point because Mary Sylvia is on a really good roll in that Division II match. And here's Diane Vinchek, gets a mixer, doesn't get the 7 to go. Got a pin spinning around in the middle there, teasing it a little bit. So now Diane, score is 111 through 7. A spare here. Katie, despite having a little bit of trouble in frames 4 through 6, she actually, if she strikes out, she could take this match. If Katie strikes out, it'd be 205. And we're waiting for a ball return on lanes 11 and 12. Meanwhile, we'll check on over to Division 2. We have Susan Graham. She has the 2, 4, 5, 7 staring at her. As I was saying with Division 1, Diane Venchek, even when she gets a spare, the best she can do is 191. And Susan takes out the 4 and 7. So she has a score of 108. And Mary Sylvia's bit is in the driver's seat at this point. She's got 3 in a row. She's got 6 consecutive marks. 3 strikes in a row. Hit here in the 8th could really seal the game. And pin slightly hits the 4. But still a good shot by Mary. Here's Diane, got her ball back, going for the 7 pin, and she will recover that. So Diane has a score of 121 with the fill through 8. Best she can do is 191. Katie, who's working on a strike in frames after frame 7, going into frame 8, if she strikes out, she will actually get to 205. So Katie is still in the driver's seat. Mary, unfortunately, ball went a little bit too far left into the gutter, and she has an open frame. Katie throws a shot, really gets it to go. She has a double through going into the setup frame 9. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island at the inaugural New England Queens Tournament, which has brought more than 50 of the top women bowlers from around New England. Mary with the shot. Oh, great ball. Wrap 7 pin. So Mary just has to get a mark or 2 here, and she should get it in control. Katie, great shot. So now she's putting pressure on Diane Venchek with a critical 3 in a row there going into the 10th frame. So now Diane really needs to get the strikes going to force the pressure back onto Katie. So if Mary gets a spare on lane 13, plus count, she should seal that match over Susan Graham, who was plus 19. I'm sorry. Who qualified 5th in the Division 2 bracket. Here's Diane. Big strike there. She needed that. Now, if she gets a strike here, she can really put the pressure on Katie Scott-Jones here in the Division 1 match. Susan Graham over on lane 14 leaves the 1, 2, and 8. And that match will pretty much wrap up, where Mary Sylvia will move on. She will take on Tony Marie Vaughn in the next round of the Stepladder. Let's go over to lane 11. Diane Venchek, a little light. Leaves the 2, 5, and 8. So if Diane converts this and then strikes on the fill, she'll end up with a 171 max. Meanwhile, Katie, just needs to get some good count, stay behind the foul line, and that ball, that's not going to do it. So Diane she'll finish 5th with a 159 game here in the Stepladder. Now Katie, she just needs to really stay behind the foul line and get some good count, and she will be moving on in her respective Stepladder. Susan, she leaves the 5-7. Katie throws a shot, looking for it to mix up. Gets it to mix. Big 4 in a row there. That will seal the deal here for the first round in the Division I stepladder. So again, Katie will be moving on in the next round, taking on Sabrina Quinones, who is the 3 seed here in Division I. She shot plus 114 through her respective 5 games. And Susan almost get the 5-7. Oh. So she'll finish her day. Very good day today. Finishes 5th overall. Katie gets it. Got early roll there. So she might be thinking about that. They have a little bit of room. So Susan Graham will finish 5th. Terrific run by her in Division II. And Mary Sylvia, she will be your round 1 winner in Division II. She has a potential 190 going. And Katie looking to take care of her fill shot. And leaves the weak 10 pin, but after opening in frames 4, 5, and 6, Katie stepped up with 5 critical strikes in a row to go to 204. So Katie defeats Diane Venchek 204 to 159. And Mary Sylvia will be moving on. She formally defeats Susan Graham 179 to 124. So as the next match gets set up, I'd like to offer a quick thanks to our sponsors. Today's sponsors are the Rhode Island Ladies Classic. The Rhode Island-based tournament series offers women of all skill levels to compete with the best in the area. Locations that the tournaments are held include here at East Providence Lanes, Old Mountain Lanes down in Wakefield, Rhode Island, Lang's Bolorama in Cranston, and other centers around Rhode Island. For more information and for upcoming tournament dates, visit the Rhode Island Ladies Classic page on Facebook. And we're also sponsored by Tournament Sense. Tournament Sense is a suite of apps to assist bowlers, coaches, and tournament directors to help track scores, manage leagues, train students, and run tournaments all in one place. For more information on Tournament Sense, visit tournamentsense.com. That's tournamentsense.com. So again, a quick recap. The first round of the stepladder, Katie Scott Jones defeats Diane Venchek 204 to 159. She moves on to face Sabrina Quinones in the next round in Division I. And in Division II, Maria Sylvia defeats Susan Graham 179 to 124. Mary will be taking on Tony Marie Vaughn in the next round of the stepladder. So there's 5 bowlers each on Division I and Division II. There'll be 4 rounds of stepladder. So this is now up to round 2. So again, this tournament took several months. A lot of talking up all around the area to give women an opportunity to compete in a major tournament. And again, this tournament drew, I believe, 55, 56 players, not just from Rhode Island, but Connecticut, Massachusetts, as far north as Maine. And we have Tony Marie Vaughn taking some of her warm-up shots here on lanes 13 and 14 for her Division II matchup. So now with the practice, each player moving forward the new player moving forward will have 2 balls per lane of warm-up, and then we'll get right into the formal match. So as the ladies get warm up, I will have to do some quick photo work, so we shall be back in a couple minutes. So again, this is the New England Queens inaugural tournament here on the Rhode Island Ladies Classic Broadcast Network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So as the lanes get set up, for our next Stepladder final match. Again, on Division 1. We will have to update this super quick. So on the, if I can spell it correctly. So Tony Marie Vaughn on Division 2 will be taking on the winner of the first round, Mary Sylvia. And on Division 1, we have Sabrina Quinones, the number 3 seed, taking on the winner of the first round, Katie Scott Jones. And Sabrina, first shot in 11th frame, lane 11, leaves a bit of a weak 10. There's Tony Marie. She's elected to go first. Goes a shot, leaves the 1-7. So Tony Marie Vaughn of Derry, New Hampshire, qualified third overall with a 5-game block of 903. Her high score was game 3 was a 225. And Rita starts her match with an open frame. Just need to get a quick score check. And Tony, unfortunately, misses it a little bit wide, too. So she left the 1, 2, and 8, standing on both shots. So now Marie Sylvia of T-Ticket, Massachusetts. In her first match, won her first match. She defeated Susan Graham of Tumeston, Connecticut. And Marie starts out strong with a strike. Here's Katie Scott Jones. Starting to get lined up. She had that look toward the end of game 1, which is right in between first and second arrow, and gets that ball to set up in the right spot at about 38, 40 feet, and had a real strong finish in game 1. To get to 204. She starts with a strike here. Now here on lane 13, Marie Sylvia. Throws a shot, looking for a double, heavy on the head pin. Looking for a little bit of a late roll, but she will shoot the 4 and 7. Now here's Katie on lane 11. Throws a shot, looks pretty good, leaves just a bit of a lazy 10 pin. 6 pin got a little lazy in the gutter there. Katie will be, but very makeable spare. As is for Mary on lane 13 for the 4-7. Going for it. And covers it. So Mary has 2 marks to start out, and Tony Marie is looking to recover from an open frame in game 1 on frame 1 as Katie awaits a ball return. So a quick look over on the Division 2 match is Tony looking for a good shot there, leaves the 2-4-5, comes in light. Tony gets set for the spare attempt. Again, going for the 2-4-5, hoping to avoid 2 consecutive open frames, and gets it to go. So just to repeat, the ladies today bowled on the 2022 USBC Women's Championships oil pattern. It's at 42 feet. It's a pattern that they used for the Women's USBC Nationals about 4 years ago now. It's 42 feet long with 25.6 mils and a ratio of 5.79 to 1, which again can get a little bit squirrely if the ball doesn't roll along the pattern properly. But you can get some but the early friction here at East Providence lanes can be a benefit on this. And Katie misses the 10-pin wide. And it looks like we got a little bit of a wrong lane issue. Which can happen every now and then. So now here's Sabrina from Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Had a very strong score of plus 114 in her 5-game block. Throws a shot, a little bit of a weak 10, which can be a tendency here, especially if you're playing up the track here. But Sabrina had a really good block. 203, 198. Then game 3 is where she really took off, 258, followed by a 212 in game 4, and then a really strong finish at a 243 to get up to the 3rd place spot. So now she goes for a respective 10 pin. She missed the first one earlier, and she will get it this time. So now here's Tony Marie Vaughn on lane 13. Accidentally bowled on lane 14 for her 3rd frame. Comes in light, once again leaving the 1, 2, and 8. The very same leave that she had in the 1st frame. That shot, she almost had a long distance friend with that leave. Now here's Sabrina on lane 11. Gets the 7 to 10 to roll late, and I guess she was grateful for that based on her reaction. And Tony, that time does not get the 1, 2, 8 again. She did get the head pin, but another open frame on that lane. So she has a score of 32 through 3 frames. And here's Katie on lane 12. Leaves another weak 10. This time it's a 7-10. Saw the 10 pin at first, but then I saw the 7 with it. So that open frame in the 2nd really hurts now. Here's Mary on lane 14. Leaves the 1 and 3. Again, very makeable. Looking to maintain good pace on her end of it. Now Katie hoping to maybe get a bounce. Takes out the 7, but that's about it. So Katie, after having a good string of strikes, she dating back to game 1, now she's in a bit of a trouble here with open frames in 2 and 3. Hoping to stop the bleeding here on lane 11, but over on lane 14, Mary looking to get the spare. She misses it wide right. Barely clips out the 3. Now she has a score of 47 through 3. So she still has a 15-pin lead in her match with Tony Marie Vaughn. Katie over on lane 11 gets a high flush shot to go. So she gets back on the strike train there. Now Mary steps up on lane 13. Again, she maintains a 15-pin lead over Tony Marie Vaughn. Got the backup ball, rolling it right down the middle, crossing over, gets it to go. So big recovery there to maintain the lead. Now Tony Marie Vaughn on her end of it, looking to try to cut that deficit down. Meanwhile, Sabrina on lane 12. Working on a strike here, gets the ball to roll up, gets a big double there. She made a ball change too. She was originally using the Ion Max, but on that lane it rolled up in the second frame. She used the Ion Max and it rolled up a little bit too early. It hit the pocket weak. That time it looked like she switched to the phase 2. Still got a bit of surface on it, but that ball won't roll as soon as the Ion Max will, and then maintain a little bit more energy down lane. All right, Tony Marie, who's leaving, going for the 7 pin, and oh no, ball went left. Now Sabrina over on lane 11, rolling up, leaves that weak 10 pin again. Again, the weak 10 pin weak corners were very common across the house today. Because again, there's so much friction over on the outside track. And the ball will either check up and go left, or check up and roll up weak, or go super left. Tony Marie Vaughn leaves the 2, 4, 5, and 7. Meanwhile, Sabrina takes out the 10 pin. So now her lead is up to 41. Katie, working on a strike, needs to start to get things going. Meanwhile, Tony Marie Vaughn takes care of the spare on lane 13. Katie working on a strike. Needs to start stringing them like she did at the end of game 1. Got that in a little bit, but it held in dead flush. So big double there by Katie. Now here's Mary Sylvia. Ball's a little wide, hits the head pin weak, leaves the 3, 5, 6. So again, we are live here at East Providence Lanes, here in East Providence, Rhode Island, for the inaugural New England Queens Women's Scratch Tournament. Got Kay Scott Jones on lane 11. She won the first match of the Stepladder. Working on a double here in her 6th frame. Throws a shot, gets the ball to roll up, and perfect shot. So much like what happened in the end of the first game, she had a bit of a couple of consecutive open frames, but then gets right back on the train and puts 10 in the pit each and every time. So Katie's got 3 in a row, frames 4 through 6, going into the 7th frame, putting the pressure on Sabrina, who was the number 3 seed in Division 1. Again, made a ball change early on, going to the phase 2. That one got a little wide right. She kind of knew it when she threw it, and leaves the 2, 4, 5, 8 bucket. Over in Division 2 on lanes 13, Mary Sylvia. So working on a strike and spare in frames 4 through 5. Now in the 6th frame, goes, ooh, a little heavy there. It leaves the 4, 6, 10. The 10 is kind of wobbling there, or was before the machine picked it up. So that's a tough break there. Sabrina Quinones gets the bucket. Gets a bit of work the wall to messenger out the 8. To keep pace with Katie, who's on 3 strikes in a row. Now Marie Sylvia looking to, at the very least, get the count. Again, it leaves the 4, 6, 10. She takes care of the count there. So her score goes to 93 through 6 frames. And now on lane 11 with Sabrina. She's got back-to-back spares after a double. Throws a shot there, gets it to go flush. So that's a big strike there for her to stay in striking distance, no pun intended, of Katie, who's got 3 strikes in a row. So the winner of Katie and Sabrina, the winner will take on Mallory Clark, who's been a fixture on the PWBA circuit, both regionally and nationally. And Tony Marie Vaughn on lane 14 leaves the 4 pin. Now Katie working on 3 in a row. Ball gets a little wide, hoping for some help, and again on lane 12, 7-10. Tough break there to end 3 in a row. And Tony Marie, she had an open frame there in the 6th frame. Misses the 4-pin wide left. So unfortunately, Tony Marie is in a bit of a trouble. Down by 24 in this match to Marie Sylvia, who has an open frame in her respective 6. So now Katie looking to get at least one, hoping for a bounce, and takes out the 7-pin there. So now she's got a score of 123. That does open the door with Sabrina Quinones, who has marked in frames 2 through 7 up to this point, after missing the 10-pin in the opening frame. And over on lane 13, Tony Marie leaves the 4-7. She needs to convert this if she wants a chance to take out Mary Sylvia. The winner of the Division 2 match will be taking on Joanne Johnson, the number 2 seed. And Katie, no 7-10 on that shot. Dead flush. So Sabrina Quinones is in the driver's seat right now. If she strikes out, she will get to 224. The best Katie can do is 213. Now on lane 14, we have Mary Sylvia, who has suffered a open frame and gets high hit on the 1-2-3 pocket. Gets it to go. And now here's Sabrina over on lane 12. Another weak 10 pin. As I said, a lot of friction outside of second arrow here at East Providence lanes. So even though that this pattern does have a little bit of volume on it, it'll still roll up very early if you got some heavy surface. So now here's Mary on lane 13. Working on a strike wide of the head pin toward the left, so she leaves the 1-3-6. Now there's Sabrina. She will convert the 10 pin there. Now she's going into the critical setup frame. Critical foundation frame here in the Division 1 match. Mary set up on lane 13. Got the 1-3-6 to go at. And Sabrina gets a critical strike there. So she sets herself up for a solid 10th frame. Meanwhile, Katie got a strike in the 8th frame. She's hit the pocket the entire game so far. Hitting the pocket hasn't been the problem for Katie. It's just getting the corners to go. She left the 10 pin in the 2nd frame, and then frames 3 and 7 on lane 12, which is what she's on now, where the 7-10. So hopefully Katie can get a little bit more of a fortuitous result. Throws a shot right at breaking in at around 6 and leaves the 10 pin. Doesn't have a long distance friend this time. Meanwhile, on lane 14, Tony Marie Vaughn looking to get the 3-6-7-10, but does not make it. So she has a score of 94 through 8 frames. Mary Sylvia, once again, in firm control of that match. Tony Marie will absolutely need, at the very least, a mark to have some semblance of a chance. It throws a real okay shot, leaves the 10 pin, comes up a little bit heavy. Meanwhile, Katie's shooting going after her respective 10 pin. going in. Oh, no. Popped out of the gutter. So that's going to be an open frame. All right, so Katie's back on lane 11. Now Marie Sylvia, she has a score of 121 through 8 frames. Basically, we'll have this match locked up. She just needed to stay behind the foul line, and hoping to get the late roll of the 7-pin to secure it, but she'll move on. She will be taking on Joanne Johnson in the Division II Stepladder semifinal. And Katie Scott Jones got a big strike there, but she's going to need all of them and have help from Sabrina Quinones, who has... Well, basically, Sabrina needs to mark and strike, and then she'll secure the win. And Mary gets the 7-pin to go. Kay's going up for her second shot in the 10th frame. Gets it inside the second arrow, and that's going to be tough. So now Sabrina, at this point, will just need to stay behind the foul line and get good count. And here's Mary on lane 13. She gets the strike. Heavy on the hip pin, but gets it to go. And finally figured out that 10th frame, if you get a strike, you get an actual bonus shot. Here's Katie going for the 4-7. So she'll finish with a 171. And Sabrina just really needs to just get good count, stay behind the foul line, and then she will be advancing to the Division I Stepladder semifinal against Mallory Clark. Here's Mary, and she leaves the 7-pin. So she'll finish with 160 plus. Here's Sabrina. Throws a shot, looks pretty good, and gets it to go. So that'll do it for that match. Mary just finishing out her 161. So Mary is 2 for 2 in her run up the step ladder. Tony Marie will finish her run here at the New England Queens in 4th in the Division II. Same thing with Katie. She will finish 4th as well in Division I. Another shot there. She's going to need... She gets that look. Will need to put good pressure on Mallory Clark, who shot very well today. She shot 11.62 for her 5-game qualifying block to get the number 2 seed in Division I. Tony Marie, she converts the 6-pin. So she's on a 120 pace here, but that's as much as she'll be able to get. Sabrina gets the ball to peel off and gets it good. Finished by Sabrina. 5 strikes out of the last 6, including 4 in a row to get to 214. So she defeats Katie Scott Jones 214 to 171 in the Division I second round. And in Division II, the final score is Marie Sylvia 161, Tony Marie Vaughn, 119. So the next round matchup will be in Division 1. It's Sabrina Quinones taking on Mallory Clark. Mallory's the number 2 seed. She is out from Lewiston, Maine. And Joanne Johnson, the number 2 seed, is now taking on in the Division 2. She is now taking on Marie Sylvia. Joanne is out of Attleboro, Massachusetts. So both Joanne and Mallory will have practice shots on their respective pairs leading into the semifinal. So we'll take a quick little break here. I'll get some photos and then I'll be back. And again, this is the New England Queens Women's Scratch Tournament here on the Rhode Island Ladies Classic Broadcast Network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Again, this is the inaugural New England Queens Women's Scratch Tournament. We are live here at East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island. So as both Mallory Clark and Joanne Johnson are wrapping up their warm-ups, we'll do a quick run through the sponsors. Today's sponsors are the Rhode Island Ladies Classic. The Rhode Island-based tournament series offers women of all skill levels to compete with the best in the area. Locations that host the Ladies Classic Tournament include here at East Providence Lanes, Old Mountain Lanes in Wakefield, Rhode Island, Langs Bolorama in Cranston, and others around the Ocean State. For more information and tournament dates, visit the Rhode Island Ladies Classic page on Facebook. And we're also sponsored by Tournament Sense. Tournament Sense is a suite of apps to assist bowlers, coaches, and tournament directors to help track scores, manage leagues, train students, and run tournaments all in one place. For more information on Tournament Sense, visit tournamentsense.com. That's tournamentsense.com. Also, we would like to thank the staff here at East Providence Lanes for hosting the inaugural New England Queens Classic. General Manager Mike Sodoma and the East Providence Lanes staff have been tremendous in helping host and assist with the tournament operations. So, Mike and the staff here at East Providence, we can't thank you enough for all that you do for not just bowling here at Rhode Island, but in New England in general. So we're going to be starting the next match very soon, so we'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the New England Queens inaugural tournament here on the Rhode Island Ladies Classic Broadcast Network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Joanne Johnson with her first shot. She leaves the 1, 2, and 10. Sabrina, her first shot in her match. She comes up heavy, but gets the 4 and 7 to go late for a strike to start against Mallory Clark. Sabrina Quinones coming off a 214-171 win over Katie Scott Jones in the second round of the Division I Stepladder. There's Joanne Johnson going for the washout, 1, 2, 10, coming in and takes out the 1 and 2 to get the count. Now here's Marie Sylvia. She is 2 for 2 in the stepladder. She won her first match. First here is Mallory Clark. First shot comes in. She also trips the 4 late to get the opening strike. So it looks like a little bit of friction has built up on the outside of 11 and 12. And here's Marie really quick on lane 14. She goes Brooklyn, gets the 10 to go late to leave the 8-pin. She had the 8-10 staring at her. So again, Marie Sylvia, she's 2 for 2 here in the stepladder. She won the first match over Susan Graham, 179 to 124, and then she just defeated Tony Marie Vaughn, 161 119. So here's Mallory Clark on lane 11, throws a shot, gets the mixer to go. So she starts with a double. Now here's Sabrina Quinones, looking to go on lane 12. But first, Mary Sylvia just gets the 8 out. So she starts her match with a spare. Now is Sabrina starting up on lane 12 for her second frame. She had a strike to go in frame 1. Shot is in a little bit, checks in, hits the hip and heavy, leaves the 3-6. Again, the ladies are bowling on the 2022 USBC Women's Championships oil pattern. Distance is 42 feet with an oil ratio of 5.79 to 1, and the total volume is 25.6 milliliters. So it's a low volume pattern and friction in this building can start up really quick, and there's a great shot by Mary Sylvia on lane 13. Big strike there. So she starts out with a spare and strike in her first 2 frames. Here's Sabrina on lane 12. She also starts with a strike and spare on lane in her match against Mallory Clark, who started with a double. Almost had another wrong lane incident on 13 and 14. But Joanne, now on the right lane, literally, looking to avoid 2 consecutive open frames. She had a washout in frame 1. And throws a good shot there. Mixer, the 7-pin. Will it go? No. And Sabrina on lane 11 throws a great shot there. So she struck both times on the left lane here in this match against Mallory, who is now stepping up. She's on a double. Mallory had a really good run, as mentioned earlier. She shot 1,162 through 5 games to get the number 2 seed in Division I. And here's Joanne here on lane 14, and she takes out the 7-pin. Now here's Mallory. Throwing a good shot, gets it to hit, rolls it straight up in between first and second arrow, gets the 10 to go late. So now she's got 3 in a row to start. She's the first player so far today to start with 3 consecutive strikes. There's Joanne here on lane 13. Using looks like a phase 2 Pearl, and oh no, another washout on lane 12. She had similar hit in her first frame. This time she's got an extra pin to work with. It's the 1, 2, 4, 10. Meanwhile, Mallory going for 4 in a row and hits it. Mallory game 1 in her qualifying had a 297. Again, she had a great run today. She had 297 game 1. Her final shot unfortunately came up heavy, left the 4-7-10. And there is Joanne Johnson. She almost had the washout. Looked like she was trying to get a little bit of a late messenger. But Mallory, she shot 297, 212, 236, 203, and 214 to again get to 1162 for her qualifying block. Now here's Sabrina here on lane 12. Another lazy 10-pin. So Mallory from Lewiston, Maine. She's got 4 in a row to start. And here's Mary. Mary Sylvia from T-Ticket, Massachusetts. Again, 2 for 2 for her here in the Stepladder. Looking to go 3 for 3. She's off to a good start now. She's got a double. And then Sabrina gets the 10-pin to go. So Joanne in her qualifying block earlier shot 177, 190, 153, 181, and 190, 153, 181, 195, and 190 to get to 909. Now here's Mary. She's working on 2 in a row, looking for 3, and leaves the 4-5. That's a hit you usually don't see a lot. But Mary earlier shot 203, 176, 150, 139, and 208. So she had a very good day to get into the 5th spot. Now here's Sabrina here on lane 11, gets it to go. So left lane for Sabrina is not the issue. Right lane has not been too kind to Sabrina up to this point. But Sabrina's got strike, spare, strike, spare, strike going through 5 frames. But Mallory's got 4 in a row. Hoping to get number 5. And here's Mary on lane 13. She takes out the 4. So Mary has a score of 76 through 4 frames. Now Joanne's looking to cut that deficit a little bit. Now here's Mallory here on lane 12. Dead flush. So again, Mallory can scream if she gets lined up. And there's a strike by Joanne Johnson. So she's on the board there. And a double here by Joanne can cut that deficit down quite a bit. Now Mallory working on 5 in a row. Again, she had 11 in a row to start her day today. Again, all the players are right up in between. Most of the players are right up in between first and second arrow. And Mallory gets it to go. That's 6. So again, Mallory has had a lot of good success over on the PWBA circuit. And there's a double by Joanne Johnson. A big hit there. Now she's starting to wake up. And putting a little bit of pressure on Mary Sylvia, who again is 2 for 2 in her Stepladder run so far. Now here's Sabrina Quinones in lane 12. Really needs to kind of get some strikes going because Mallory has not missed yet. There's a shot. Oh, Lord. Great ball there. Just the 8-pin did not want to cooperate. Now over to lane 14. Mary gets it to go. Gets the 6 to fall late. She sees what Joanne Johnson's doing, and now she needs to kind of catch up or stay ahead of that. Now Sabrina, who's staring at the stone 8. Again, she threw a great shot here in the 6th frame. Just did not get it to go. She cleans that up. It's real tough when your opponent's got 6 in a row to start out, and then you throw a great shot like that, and it just wouldn't. The 8-pin would not budge. So now there's Mary Sylvia here on lane 13. Get a strike here in the 5th frame, looking to double up, and leaves the 5-7. Her backup ball came in a bit light. And now she's got to have a bit of a split to work with here. Sabrina, so far struck here on the left lane all match, and that will continue. So again, the left lane for Sabrina is not the problem. Right lane has just been mean so far. Now there's Mallory. Lane 12 getting ready to set up again. She's got 6 in a row. She started out with 11 in a row to start her day. Mary looking to get it, takes out the 5. So Mary's score is at 104 through 6. Now here's Mallory. Stepping up, throwing the shot, looking for 7. Gets it to go. Flush. Mallory is basically locked in. Again, a lot of the players have been playing through between 1st and 2nd arrow, usually between boards 6 and 8. And here's Joanne Johnson. Comes up a little bit light, but leaves the 2-8. Certainly makeable. Now Mallory. Got 7 in a row to start. Looking for 8. Throws a great shot there. Coming up and gets the mixer to go. There's 8 in a row. Again, most of the players, as I was mentioning, have played in between 1st and 2nd arrow. Usually try to keep the ball between 6 and 8. As long as you get the ball to roll forward the right way and get it to tip in the right spot at around the 40-foot mark, then the ball will come in relatively good. Here's Joanne looking to try to get the 2-8. Covers it. So she's trimmed that deficit down. She's only down 12 now to Mary Sylvia. Here's Sabrina hoping to get one to go, and that 7-pin fell very late. And she's celebrating because she finally got one to go on the right lane. Again, Sabrina's been throwing it really good on her end of it, too. Just, again, carry issues on that right lane were just, And again, it doesn't help when your opponent's shooting the 8 in a row. There's Joanne on lane 13. Oh, it was a great shot there. Ooh, a little bit of a weak 10-pin, but a good shot there nonetheless. There's Sabrina. Doesn't get it to go. Leaves a 7-pin. To get the 10-pin here to put more pressure on Mary Sylvia. Oh, will it stay on? No, it will not. It will go into the gutter. But Joanne, through 7 frames, she has a score of 110. And Sabrina is going for the 10-pin. The 7-pin. She will cover that with ease. Now we got a scoreboard watch here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we are here at East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island for the inaugural New England Queens, the Women's Bowling Scratch Tournament. Marie Sylvia on lane 14 in her Division II match. She gets a big strike there. Meanwhile, Mallory Clark working on 8 in a row, hoping for 9 in a row, and gets it to go. So now we go over to lane 11. And Mallory with 9 straight to start. So that match is basically locked up. It's just, will we see perfection here live here at East Providence Lanes? Well, first we got Mary Sylvia. She's got a strike through in the 7th frame, looking for a double here. And again, she leaves this 5-7 again. Now we switch over to lane 11. Mallory looking for the front 10. And, oh, just a bit light. Leaves the 7-pin, gets a round of applause from the crowd here. So she will advance to the title match where she will face Courtney Parento. Again, another player, very strong player from West Warwick, Rhode Island. Bowling college at Delaware State University. Made the NCAA tournament while she was bowling in college there. Now Mary Sylvia takes out the 5-pin. So on the left lane, Mary's had a little bit of trouble. She left 4-5, 5-7, and 5-7. Now Mallory cleans up the 7-pin. So she'll be in the 270s. Joanne Johnson, she leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 8. Bit of a close match over in Division 2. Now Mallory's looking to close it out for 279, and she gets it. So second time today in 6 games, Mallory starts out with at least the front 9. And Joanne Johnson, she converts the 1, 2, 4, and 8. So she's keeping pace with Mary Sylvia. And Sabrina, she's going to close out her. Okay, and oh, Lord. Well, I think in the Sabrina Quinones household, I don't think lane 12 will be getting a Christmas card for her this year. Sabrina's thrown it so good this game as well. It's just the right lane has not cooperated with her. Stone 7. She had a stone 8 earlier. Now we got Joanne here on lane 12. And she goes Brooklyn. Gets it to go. So that match is starting to tighten up real quick. Sabrina, she will finish 3rd in the Division 1. Again, it was a very strong field on Division 1. So no shame in that. There's Mary Sylvia. She gets the light hit to go. Ball crossed over into the 1-3. Gets the 4 and 5 to fall late. And now she goes over onto lane 13, which has been tricky for her. Mary is actually in the driver's seat here. She paces. If she paces, strikes bare, she gets 172. And there's Sabrina. She's like, finally. So Sabrina ends with her day with a 208. To Mallory Clark's 279 in the Division 1 semifinals. Now we shift action over to Mary Sylvia on lane 13, hoping to get it to go, and she gets it to go. Ball came in a bit heavy, but that's a huge hit there. Now, if she strikes here and gets 9 on the fill, she will shut out Joanne Johnson and move on to the final. So Mary on lane 13, working on a double. Throws a shot, going in a little bit right. It's heavy on the 3-pin. Leaves the 1-2-8. But that forces Joanne to strike on the first ball. At the very least, for Joanne to win, she'll need to at least she'll need a double. We got a nail biter here in the Division 2 Stepladder semifinal. Mary Sylvia throws it good, takes out 2. So she ends it with a 178. Now Joanne Johnson steps up. Again, Joanne Johnson from Attleboro, Massachusetts. She'll need to strike here. On lane 14. Ball's got to have it. Get up the hill. Just a bit light. And leaves the 2-8. So, Mary Sylvia will bowl for the title in Division 2 against Cindy Farris. So that's 3 for 3 for Mary Sylvia up the stepladder. Joanne will have a very respectable third place finish. And unfortunately only takes out the 2. So she'll end at 158. It was a match that got really down to the wire there. But Mary Sylvia, again, has climbed the stepladder to bowl for the title. She will face Cindy Farris in the Division 2 final. Meanwhile, the Division 1 final will feature 2 very strong PWBA players from the area. Mallory Clark from Lewiston, Maine, and Courtney Parento from West Warwick, Rhode Island. So, we'll go for a quick break here. Got to work on getting some photos, but we will be back on the air super quick as the players warm up. This is the New England Queens Women's Scratch Tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Again, here we are live here at East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island for the inaugural New England Queens Tournament, sponsored by both the Rhode Island Ladies Classic and Tournament Sense. So we have Cindy Farris, top seed in Division 2, taking on Mary Sylvia, who has worked her way up the stepladder to reach the title match. And over in Division 1, we actually have a rematch of a PWBA Regional in Pennsylvania between Courtney Parento and Mallory Clark. Both these players, both Courtney and Mallory met in the Stepladder final in the Pennsylvania Regional last year. With Mallory winning that. So now, in Division I, the top two of the top PWBA players will be squaring off for the tiara. So now we lead off here. Courtney's leading off on lane 11. She is the top qualifier. Shot 1167 for 5 games. Well, Cindy Farris is starting off on lane 13. She gets the strike to go as Courtney comes up a little weak in the pocket, leaving the 710. So now here's Mary Sylvia, who has worked her way up the stepladder, going 3 for 3 so far. Throws her first shot, going and hits heavy on the 3-pin, leaves the 1-2-8. Meanwhile, Courtney on lane 11 misses both the 7 and the 10. So again, Courtney shot 1167 in her qualifying round in Division I, with scores of 213, 258, 214, 264, and 218 to maintain the top spot. Now here's Mallory, who's coming off of a 279 game. Still striking. So Mallory on this pair has thrown 12 first shots. 11 of them has struck. Meanwhile, on lane 14, Mary Sylvia takes out the 2 and the 8. So she has an open frame to start. Meanwhile, Cindy Farris struck in her first frame. Mallory, who also struck in her first frame, and also struck in a lot of frames previously. Going for 2 in a row to start out here in the title match. Throws it, and stone 8. It's another great shot there, just 8-pin was unkind. Meanwhile, we shift over to lane 13. Here is Mary, looking to recover off of an open frame. Ball comes in, crosses over light on the 1-3, leaves the 2-5. Makeable spare. Now there's Mallory on lane 11 looking to clean up the 8-pin, and she will take care of that, no problem. Courtney will step up after leaving the 7-10 in frame 1. Hoping to recover from that. And meanwhile, Mary on lane 13 looking to take care of the 2-5. Throws it. Ball is going to hit the 2-pin light and still takes out the 5. So she gets a spare there. Now Courtney steps up on lane 12. Throws her first shot, gets it to about 5, comes in, gets the mixer to go. Now here's Cindy Farris over on lane 14. Had a strike the first frame. This time leaves the 2-7 baby split. Cindy Farris, who's from Dracut, Massachusetts, had scores of 141, 150, 206, 223. The second highest score in the Division II round. Follow up with a 193 to get to 913 total. Over on lane 11, we got Courtney. A great shot there, leaves the 10-pin. And Cindy takes out the 2-7 baby split. Cindy maintains an early lead. Meanwhile, Courtney's thrown some really good shots on her end of it. Again, pin carry unkind. care of the 10 pin. Probably a little bit wide right than she would have liked, but ball still hit the pin. And here's Cindy. She gets the mixer to go. So she's got strike, spare, strike to start out. Now here's Mallory, who had a stone 8 in frame 2. Ball comes in, it's a little heavy, and she leaves the 4-7-10. One of the first few shots that did not go well. And here's Mary Sylvia on lane 14, leaves the 5-8. So now Mallory, at the very least, is looking to get count. Looks like her first shot there was a bit further in than she wanted it to. And she'll take care of the 4-7 no problem. Again, her first shot was probably about 2 boards left than where she would have wanted it to. And again, ball checked in through the heavy on the head pin. So there's Marie on lane 14. And she will take care of the 5-8 no problem. So back-to-back spares for Mary going into frame number 4. Meanwhile, Mallory looking to bounce back from a tough split in frame 3. What shot? That shot looks a lot better. Another heavy shot. Again, it was like a probably shot that was a little bit further left than she would have wanted to. Again, not by much. On a shot like this, slight differences do matter. And here's Mary, another solid shot. Leaves just a 6. But she stays clean here. She still keeps relatively close pace with Cindy Farris, the top seed in Division 2. Mallory will clean up the 4-pin, no problem. So now Courtney has gone 7-10, strike, and 10-pin to start out. On 13, Mary, no, misses it wide left. So now that opens the door for Cindy to build on her lead. Meanwhile, on lane 12, Courtney throws a shot. Great ball there. Ball got to about 42 feet and then made the turn and rolled real strong into the pocket for the strike. Now here's Cindy Farris on lane 14. Comes up light. The 2-4-5. Definitely makeable. Gets a spare here. She'll maintain a really strong lead over Mary Sylvia. Courtney looking for a double here. Left lane, the ball has come in a little bit weak. See if she makes a slight adjustment here. That ball turned up real strong. So big double there by Courtney. And Cindy gets the spare to go. The 2-4-5 on lane 14. So she is strike, spare through 4 frames. And here's Mallory. Looking to, after a really strong semifinal, had 2 real good shots to start this match, but then looking to get back on target. The ball is right up first arrow and leaves the 2-8. I think she tried to compensate or compensate for the miss left on the 2 frames prior. Now here's Cindy. She leaves the 10-pin. Real good shot there. Now Mallory looking to clean up the 2-8, and that ball, oh no. That's a mistake there. Pulls it a little left, only takes out the 2. So that's a critical open frame there. So she has a score of 73 through 5. Now there's Cindy. She maintains staying clean. She's got about an 89 score through 5 with another fill ball to come in the 6th. Mary needs to pressures on Mary, who's had a really good run and threw up the step ladder in Division 2. Climbed all the way up to get to the title match, but she'll need to really start to, at the very least, get some marks here, and another 4-5 from her. This time on lane 14. Switch over to lane 11. Mallory looking, that shot looks much better. Weak 10 pin there, but the shot looked much better there. Mallory is at least back into the pocket, but gonna need the strikes to go because Courtney looked like she got lined up there. Courtney has not missed the pocket this game, but hasn't had the carry to go for her, at least early on. Now Mary on lane 14 only takes out the 4 pin. So Mary's gonna have to get back up, go on lane 13. Meanwhile, Mallory on lane 11 takes care of the 10 pin relatively easily. So now Courtney steps up, could really put the pressure on Mallory here with another strike here. She's working on a double. She's had 7-10, frame 1, strike on 2, 10 pin on 3, and then double now. But first we got Mary on lane 13. Oh, shot heavy on the head pin, leaves the 4-7. So now Courtney steps up. She's on lane 12, looking for 3 in a row. Ball really gets to the spot, got to the spot sorta, but then slowed down. Left the 10 pin. So Courtney has a 10 pin to shoot at. Meanwhile, Sylvia on lane 13 has the 4-7 to go after. She'll need this to at least stay in relatively decent striking distance. She gets it there. Cindy Ferris on lane 14 will step up. But first, Courtney over on 12, going for the 10 pin. And she will convert it. Now over on to lane 11, Cindy Ferris working on 2 straight spares. Gets the strike to go. Gets the 7 to fall late. So she's staying clean through 6. Builds up to at least a 35 pin lead. Meanwhile, Courtney currently on at least a 24 pin lead. After converting the 10 pin in the 6th frame, now she steps up for the 7th frame, looking for a strike. Throws it, rolled really strong in the pocket there. Cindy rolling up, gets another mixer to go. That's a huge double there. Huge double. And now Mary, who unfortunately seems like is running out of frames, really needs a strike to go. But first, Mallory will step up. She too needs some strikes, and it looks like she's making a ball change here. Ball rolled through cleaner, and no, doesn't get the 7 to go. Now we got Mary Sylvia over on 14, and that, now she's in a world of hurt. 4-6-10. But nothing to be ashamed of right now for Marie Sylvia. Again, she made a really good run up in the step ladder. And over on lane 12, Mallory Clark takes out the 7. And Mary Sylvia won 3 straight matches to climb up to the step ladder to get to the title match. Well, right now, Cindy Ferris is looking very strong. stay clean through 7 and has a double working into the A-frame. And Mary, ball does not hit any of the pins, goes into the gutter. Now over on lane 11, we got Mallory. She really needs a strike here, because Courtney seems to be lined up pretty well. After the 7-10, Courtney has not has stayed clean. Mallory does not like it at all, and for good reason. The 3-6-9-10. Again, it looks like she crossed over, missed left. Again, here's Mary Sylvia, gets the 9 to roll late, but leaves the 10. Had the 9-10 staring at her for a second. Mallory absolutely needs to spare this, and she does. Well, Courtney could really, really lock this up if she has 2 strikes here. But first things first in frame 8. Meanwhile, on lane 13, Mary gets the 10 pin to go. But Cindy Ferris is really in control right now. Clean game through 7. Double there. Meanwhile, on lane 12, real big shot here by Courtney, and gets it to go. Huge, huge, huge double there. Meanwhile, on lane 14, Cindy Ferris, big shot there. That's 3 in a row. That pretty much will lock that up. So Cindy Ferris is going to be wearing a tiara when she leaves these Providence lanes today. Meanwhile, Courtney, she could wear a tiara as well if she gets a strike to go here in the 9th frame. And throws it good, comes up a little light. Leaves the 2-8. Cindy Ferris gets it to go, 4 in a row. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that will pretty much wrap up Division 2. So Cindy Ferris will be your Division 2 champion here in the New England Queens. She's pacing to go 249 at this point if she strikes out. But meanwhile, over on lane 11, Courtney will need to convert this. And Mary Sylvia celebrates the strike. But Mary Sylvia will get a lot of applause on her end of it for finishing second. Again, she climbed all the way up the stepladder as the 5th seed. Won 3 consecutive matches to get to the title match. So there's no shame in that whatsoever. Now here's Mallory Clark, who really needs to strike and really hope for something big. Mallory goes back to her original ball, gets it to strike in the 9th frame. But Mallory, if she strikes out, she'll only get to 188. And Courtney just needs to really stay behind the foul line. And Mary gets a late hit on the 7. Mary needs to be reminded that, you get bonus balls in the 10th frame if you strike. Mallory throws it, gets the strike there. She's back lined up, but unfortunately that's going to be too little too late. Mary finishing out. Ferris is going to be pushing for legitimate 240s. She'll definitely be in the 2 teens at the least. And Mallory gets another strike. Again, shots that she missed inside just a little bit and then overcompensated with the 2-8. And Courtney just pounced on that. Courtney, again, she needs to just stay behind the foul line, and then she will walk out of these Providence lanes with a tiara and another title to her resume. Very impressive resume in the Rhode Island Ladies Classic Series. So Cindy leaves a 10-pin, and Mallory strikes out. She'll get to 188. And Cindy, she will convert that. She's in the 220s now. Courtney doesn't quite get the mixer, but that'll do it. And Cindy Ferris finishes out with a 223. So she wins the tiara in Division 2, and Courtney will take home the tiara in Division 1. Courtney will go after the 7-pin, gets it all good. And she will be in the 2-0. So Courtney Parento, another win on the Rhode Island Ladies Classic Series. This time a major win in Division 1 for the New England Queens, the inaugural win. She gets 203. To Mallory Clark's 188. So well done, ladies. Congratulations. Again, this was the inaugural New England Queens. So your final scores here. Courtney Parento wins the Division 1 tiara with a 203-188 victory over Mallory Clark. And over in Division 2, Cindy Ferris with an impressive 223. To Maria Sylvia, who had a really strong run up the stepladder. Cindy Ferris wins that match 223-156. So we'll be back, hopefully to speak with the champions here at the New England Queens. Stand by for a couple minutes. Cindy, Courtney, congratulations. So really quick, first question, Courtney. Won a plenty a bit here on the Rhode Island Ladies Classic. What does it mean to now take a tiara home?
This tiara is going to sit on my shelf. It's so sparkly. I'm excited. There was incredible competition here today, so I did one frame at a time, and we got it done today.
Excellent. And Cindy, how about you? You had to come in because Mary was really stringing it along in that stepladder. So what was the key thing to really get the advantage in your favor to roll a really strong score that you did?
Make a great shot, make your spares. What's meant to be is meant to be.
Okay. It seemed like once you started to get that 3-4 in a row, did that kind of start to really sink in?
Settle in, for sure.
So what does it mean to you to take home a tiara as well?
Well, considering I've been on a 4-year hiatus to make my way back
really?
after injury, I'm feeling great. I feel good, happy to be back, and thanks to Rhode Island.
That's a heck of a way to come back.
I would agree.
And you've been winning a lot on the circuit as well. So adding up to this, but also Mallory, you faced her plenty of times before, and then she was coming off of a 279. What was your mindset going into the match there?
So the last time I bowled Mallory, it was at one of the regionals, and she beat me. So we had a vendetta.
You had a
Now
vendetta.
we're even.
Now you're even.
Yep.
Okay. So once you saw her door a little bit open there, was it just a matter of really maintaining the focus? Because it seemed like you got the pocket really lined up there. It was just a matter of getting lined up and getting the pins to go.
Yeah, I had the pocket, but then once she started opening the door, I had a looser arm swing, and I think that's what helped the carry a little bit.
Okay.
Going into a few frames that I really needed strikes for to get ahead. I knew if I gave her a door, she'd take it right back.
Oh, of course. All right, well, Courtney Parento, Cindy Ferris are your inaugural New England Queens champions. Courtney for Division I and Cindy for Division II. Congrats to you both once again, and we'll hope to see you here next year. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your weekend. We'll have this posted live here on YouTube very soon. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us here at East Providence. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.